Jeshua, via Pamela Kribbe, April 19, 2017. Life, Consciousness and the Heritage of Ancient Egypt. Dear friends, I am Jeshua. I salute you all at the bank of the Nile. I am so pleased to be with you. As a family, we gather together time and again, in different places and within different cultures. There's a common thread which unites and guides us. It is the thread of life and consciousness which both seek to manifest more widely and deeply on earth. Life inside us yearns for consciousness, and consciousness in us desires life. Earth offers us life, though our bodies and our emotions. These represent life inside of us, like a river always flowing, and wild and uncontrollably at times, so that you may feel like drowning, unsure where you are heading towards. Life has freedom at its heart. Life wants to live. For life, to be alive is a purpose in itself. You might say, it is weary of outside purposes. This can be sensed when you look at nature, the birds, the mountains, the flowers. Nature is intensely alive, and as you witness its carefree surrender to the forces and cycles of life, you may realize that the meaning of life cannot be outside of it, but must be inside the experience of life itself. However, experiencing life requires consciousness. The more conscious and aware you are, the more abundant and fuller life becomes. As a human being, you are invited to expand your consciousness, so that life can evolve and express itself in ever more creative ways. Consciousness brings space and higher freedom. When you look at the animals in nature, there is pure aliveness inside them, and yet they remain, more or less, confined to the realm of their instincts, their animalhood. You as a human being also have an animal nature, yet at the same time there is something inside you, a spark of light and awareness, that gives you the possibility of transcending your animality and adding something unto it. This extra something is your consciousness, which permeates life with meaning, direction, and, eventually, love. This consciousness is you. It is the divine spark inside of you. This divine spark wants to merge and dance with life, with incarnation, with the flesh and blood of your body. Your original God spark has a desire to experience life to the fullest, to absorb it in all the cells of your body, for the sake of the experience itself. Consciousness yearns for life, and life longs for awareness. If you let them dance together, you will find meaning and fulfillment in your life. You often think you need to achieve something particular in your life, and you are focused on a kind of goal, or ultimate purpose. If you are still caught up in the ways of society and are in the world mostly, you may be focused on external goals such as a job, or successful career, a relationship, or marriage, children, a house. When you are oriented more towards spirituality and the inner world, you may strive for purification, enlightenment, or inner balance. The latter may seem a more worthy goal than the external ones, but even here, in the desire for enlightenment, you are not touching the core reason why you are here. Behind all your striving and goal-oriented searching, there is often a denial of life itself. You are here to experience life, with full abandon, and to subsequently wrap your consciousness around this experience, like arms embracing life and supporting it to flower and evolve. You often battle with life. The original power of consciousness has for most of you dwindled into the energy of thinking and analyzing, the energy of the head. You have emotions, desires and passions, and then you start to think, how should I deal with this? Is it good, or bad? How can I get a grip on it, control it, change it? How can I achieve my goals? In this way, life inside of you, in its free and wild manifestation, becomes cut off and narrowed down. It is opposed, even attacked, by thinking. Instead of a mutual dance between life and consciousness, a gap arises and they become separated inside of you. Life becomes narrowed down to pent up emotions and consciousness gets confined to thinking, often worrying. This has happened in virtually everyone, a split between the thinking part of you, which judges and seeks to control, and the emotional part, that has a life of its own and cannot really be curbed by your minds. You are torn apart. Life and consciousness cannot get together inside of you. This is how you come to perceive yourself as consisting of a higher and lower self. The thinking part is not able to deal constructively with your passions and emotions. Almost all religions on earth seek to control or transcend the emotional and the sexual energy in human beings, thereby damaging the living source of creativity and inspiration in humans. Only very few spiritual teachings fully embrace life, nature and earth, and acknowledge it as the equal partner of consciousness. Now, what I am telling you here is not a mere abstract tale. You have all lived through this painful struggle with your own human nature, this artificial gap between life and consciousness, and not just in this life, but in previous ones too. You know what it is like to feel torn apart inside, split apart from your true self, the real you. Your true self is very much alive. Compared to your true self, you are half dead. There is so much you are not allowing yourself to do, or to feel. You carry such a lot of inner taboos with you. This feeling, or craving, or thought is bad. I should overcome it. Am I still not rid of it? A sense of failure and falling short constantly accompany you. In this way, life cannot reach out to you, nor can you reach out to it. You have a troubled relationship with your own human nature. This prevents the soul from entering your life and being. The soul wants to live. She wants to show herself to you through your emotions, dreams and desires, light and dark, good and bad. The soul wants to dress itself in your human nature, your living body. You are denying it access, because you are not letting yourselves be. And I am not criticizing you for this. My point is to make you aware that you are coming from a long tradition in which people tried to control life, both inner, your human nature, and outer, earth itself. My point is to make you aware of this so you can start letting it go. You are the carriers of a long history. It is meaningful that you are here right now, in Egypt, at this place and point in time. I would like to say something specifically about this. In ancient Egypt a lot of knowledge was available about the inner world, the psyche, and there was an open connection with other realms outside Earth. The use of psychic powers and the third eye was much more common than it is now. There was no split between the normal and the paranormal. Psychic energy, the energy of intention and focus, was applied to many everyday endeavors, and it was used in constructing buildings, in politics, warfare and trade. Spirituality was part of daily existence and influenced every part of life. There was, on the one hand, a profound awareness of the power of the human psyche, and its ability to create and alter physical reality. Esoteric knowledge reached a high level. On the other hand, there was a great deal of imbalance and social injustice in old Egypt. Throughout many centuries, power elites held on tightly to their privileged positions and prevented ordinary people from expanding their consciousness. There was both a flowering and a repression of consciousness. Psychic power abuse and manipulation were commonly used, and the original inspiration entering Egyptian culture from other realms in the universe was to a large extent stifled and maimed by the ones in power. The extraterrestrial influences I am speaking about contained pure seeds of light aimed at helping humanity acquire more freedom and awareness. The knowledge that was channeled to Earth was meant to enable humans to connect their animal nature with their soul's presence, to create a bridge between the personality and the soul, between life and consciousness. Egypt was the cradle and birthing ground for deep esoteric knowledge coming to Earth from highly developed places in the universe. That knowledge and consciousness were received by the hearts and minds of people living at that time who were open to the influx of this bright and revolutionary new awareness. They were the artists, the writers, the common people with an open heart, and some rulers who looked beyond the need for power. The art, the myths and the monumental buildings of old Egypt testify to the depth and power of this cosmic impulse. There is a kind of magic in the culture of ancient Egypt which you can feel calling to you as you walk among the remnants of the temples and tombs. Many among you have lived past lives in this era. You know both the light and the dark side of this culture. You innately sense what happened with the esoteric knowledge and third eye powers, how they were abused for the purpose of power struggles and warfare. Some of you were channels, or psychics yourselves and felt a real-life connection with supernatural force fields and higher energies. You were in a dilemma that tore you apart, how to express your knowledge and inspiration in an environment that might use it for personal gain, or to suppress freedom and truth. There is pain inside you about the abuse of power that took place. And you may still feel haunted by the fear of compromising your integrity when you start using your gifts for psychic reading, healing and channeling today. I am here to tell you that you can do this now. You can use your ability to channel, sense energies and share your knowledge of the inner element of life and death. The impulse of light and awareness that was the origin of the highest expressions of Egyptian culture is still waiting to be fully received. It could not be absorbed completely at the time, because human consciousness on Earth wasn't ready yet. You can compare it to the birth of a stillborn baby. It was carried to Earth, but it could not yet live there. The circumstances were too harsh, the baby too fragile. Yet even though it was stillborn, the child was there and it was noticed, it was recognized by some as the carrier of light and freedom. You are called today to bring your wisdom, your intuition and clarity of mind to the world, to share it from an open heart, without power abuse, and honoring your humanness. You are here to complete a mission, to fulfill a promise that you once held very dear. You are bringers of light. You are here to create change. It is now possible to do this without fear of losing your freedom and integrity. You live in a different time now. Collective consciousness is reaching the limits of fear and separation. There's a growing awareness that change is needed, not just on the external level, but inner change, a change of heart. Humanity is starting to realize that the energy most needed now is love. Love is the energy of connection. It recognizes what binds people, what makes them the same. It creates empathy and compassion. Love is a builder of bridges. Love is the bridge between the human personality and the soul, between life and consciousness, between earth and heaven. Love's presence is growing in human society at large. More and more, people are encouraged to honor and express their individual nature. This is a sign of love. Being free to explore who you are and how to express yourself, whether you are female, male, young, old, poor, rich, etc., is nowadays regarded more and more as a desirable goal. This is incredible progress. Even though reality doesn't match up to the ideal yet in many areas of the world, the fact that this goal is now publicly expressed as worthy and essential is a token of expanding consciousness. Free expression of your individual nature was not possible in ancient Egypt, or only very limited. You have been born in a world today in which there is growing room for life again. The human personality with all of its passions, emotions and quirks, can come into the light of awareness now, and be redeemed. This is the true purpose of spirituality, of consciousness really. To honor and respect life in its most individual expression, which is the human soul, and to help it flower and expand with creativity and joy. For all of you now, the way to connect life and consciousness within is to embrace your aliveness, your emotions, your human nature. Embrace it non-judgmentally, accept yourself, be free. Let go of spiritual judgments, don't repress yourself, but allow your open consciousness to penetrate deeply into your darkest emotions. This is the alchemy you are looking for. When you allow consciousness and life, awareness and emotion, to dance together in a loving embrace, you become free. You will learn to understand the messages behind your darkest and brightest emotions. You will work with them instead of battling them. Life is emotion. Life, in the form of emotion, calls out to consciousness, see me, fill me with your light. The soul is the carrier of consciousness, and the more you embrace your emotions with awareness, the more your soul can come down and merge with your personality. If this happens, you feel alive and joyful, even though problems come and go and you are faced with the typical issues that all humans are faced with. Joy is the surest sign that you are becoming whole, a blend of life and consciousness, always moving and developing, and at the same time safely held by the arms of eternity.